boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's get this done and over with.
Get the input device ready.
Alright, done. Hooked up and everything, yeah?
How many minutes do we have left?
Well, they'll go off when the doors open, so 21 minutes.
That means we have 7 minutes per bomb. That includes travel time, though.
Number 2 is in the control room on floor B. And bomb number 1 is also on floor B with the guard end. So, we just need to hurry, right? So what are we supposed to do? I mean, we do have some sort of plan, right?
It's not like I don't have one.
Then stop being so mysterious and tell me. What the hell am I supposed to do?
You need to make a jump.
Jump?
Yeah, to another world. Another history.
I can't.
You didn't just guess that Dio set the bombs, did you? You knew it. Because you remembered it happening in another history, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But that's, I mean...
You just have to do that again.
So you're saying I need to go to another history and get the passwords out of Dio somehow?
It does have to be another one. It could be this one. Just go back to the past and question him. Then again, if you do that, you might end up changing things so you don't end up here. That would mean you couldn't deactivate the bombs in this history. So you have to come back to this exact moment, or...
Arg. Damn it. This is so
Well,
confusing.
don't think about it then. We don't have time anyway. Just jump.
Okay. I get it. See you later then. Are you insane? You're talking about transporting myself across space and time. Also, why should I have to do everything? Can't you jump too?
My jumps happen suddenly, out of the blue. I can't control them.
Neither can I.
That's the problem. Alright, consider this. Maybe we've already jumped from another history to this one, but our memories of that history got damaged or something. We forgot most of what happened in that other timeline. If we can remember, even anyway, it's just a hypothesis.
Are you saying I might know it already? And I just have to try and remember it?
Yeah, I feel like we know.
We do. We've seen all 4 codes.
So, anything? We need the bomb password. Do you remember hearing it in another timeline?
I stared down at the input device. Password. The bomb password. Actually, I did remember. I had heard it. So this is bomb number 1, which we will be putting that first password in. BQZ RG J DX R. Okay. Hit BQZ. Oh, because this is bomb number 3. That's why it didn't work. Bomb number 3 is LXQ. LHC. NMR.
Good job. It worked.
Phew. Alright. I sighed and wiped off and wiped what felt like buckets worth of sweat from my forehead.
So you knew the password after all. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I
You heard it
did.
in another's history? Just
Yeah.
what happened in that other timeline?
That one was Alice's ending.
Never mind. We don't have time for that. How much longer?
18 minutes.
Good. We've still got, come on. We've still got 2 more. The number 2 bomb is next up.
So we're headed to the control
Right.
room.
No time to wait. Oh, and don't forget the input device.
And then she was gone. I hurriedly disconnected the device from the bomb and chased after her. Time to finish disarming some bombs. Into the red control room, or into the red chromatic door. And into the control room, where we disarm the second bomb.
You got it?
Yeah, right here.
Pick it up.
Right. Done.
Okay. Hurry it up. Plug in the password.
Done. Hey, what the
Calm
hell?
down. You probably just typed it in wrong.
No way. I'm sure I did it right. Who said it was the same code? Sigma, stop. Yeah, nothing. That password's no
Then it's
good.
different. All 3 bombs use different passwords.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Shit!
Vice slammed her foot against the locker, her face uncharacteristically twisted by anger and frustration.
This is bad. What the hell are we gonna do?
We make another jump.
Try and remember, did you see or hear any...
You mean like a different history from the one I remembered?
Yeah, you figured it out there. You just can't remember it very well. But remember what happened with the last bomb. This one is just like that.
Yep. This time, we go to the password. Another history. The password. Do I know what it is? Can I remember it? I have to. And now we have Sigma's ending. You have EQD, DYR, NTK. Bomb disarmed.
Damn, this is crazy. So you did know it.
Yeah, guess so.
Don't scare me like that, alright?
Come on, it's not like I was hiding it. I just couldn't remember at first. then it just kind of floated up. Or maybe it drifted down.
Point is, we disarmed the thing.
Yep.
Amazing.
You sure don't sound amazed.
Okay, that just leaves us with the light.
It's in the garden.
Right. Let's go take care of it while you're on a roll with these things.
Good. You make it sound so
Don't
easy.
just stand there. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't have time to waste, Sigma. Let's move it, move it, move it. She spun around and was gone. I gripped the input device tightly and headed off after her. And into the garden. Bee garden. Sorry about that. Went to get some cleaners for my glasses. They really have this annoying stain on them.
Finally. The last one.
Yeah,
How many minutes left?
less than 10.
It's okay. We can still make it. Just stay calm, alright? You have the input device?
So originally when I played this, I got up to here, and I didn't realize that that code that Zero Senior gave us was in fact the last code. Apparently, my glasses are not like this. Time to wipe them down some more. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Connected.
Okay, go.
Go.
You've done this twice already.
Yeah, Sigma. Why aren't you paying attention?
You really need a third pep talk?
You want me to remember another password, right?
Exactly. What else would I talk about?
But
Don't sweat it. You did great the last 2 times. I'm sure this one will be a cakewalk. Third time's the charm, right?
that's not really how it's used. I'm just worried that lightning's not going to strike twice, or thrice in this case.
No, I think mine still works.
The thing is that unless you actually remember Tenmyoji's ending, this bomb could be a bit of a trick.
There's nothing to suggest the first and second times aren't charmed too.
I guess so.
Whatever. Just do it. You're the only person who can.
What about you?
Yeah, but I can't remember things as well as you, alright? I'm doing the best I can, but either I haven't seen the stuff you have, or I just can't remember it. Maybe we've been going to different worlds.
I mean, shortly she's going to jump over to Dio's ending.
Anyway,
Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
I'm counting on you.
The password. The password. The password. Remember. Remember, Sigma. Come on. Lightning can strike twice. Or even 3 times. You can do it. You did it before. You did it twice before. This is nothing. You're a champion. Come on, Sigma. You can do this. Pull open the door to your memories. Oh, I did BTX. Or I did BQX instead of BQZ. There we go. Yeah! Suck on that, Dio, you arrogant son of a bitch. Ah, that feels good. I haven't felt this satisfied in ages. It's like my whole brain is just swimming in endorphins. I feel like it's just going to melt and dribble out my ear. This is without a doubt what heaven feels like. Honestly, I feel like I could fly right now. Hell, I almost wish there was another bomb so I could feel this again. Isn't this great? Bye. Hey, what's going on? You're really harshing the vibe here. Would it really kill you to smile? We just saved everybody. Oh, also, not that I need or anything, but it sure would be nice to get a thank you or something. Oh, thank you, Sigma. You're the greatest. You're so awesome. I'll dress up in that swimsuit for you just like I promised. I mean, just the swimsuit thing would be fine, really. Are you even listening to me?
I am. You said you wish there was another bomb, right?
Well, I mean, I don't really.
I hope you're happy. You're going to get your wish.
What?
I remembered something too. Just a glimpse. We must have confronted Dio about the bombs. I'm not sure how, but we got him to tell us about them.
Exactly. I've planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3. But there's also one more. Bomb number 0.
I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. Suddenly I remembered it too. I'd heard Dio say those very words in the Floor-B warehouse. No way.
Looks like you remember it too.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Shit, we've only got 4 minutes.
Well, hurry up. We need to get to the 0 bomb.
Right. Where is it, though? I yanked the input device out of the bomb and turned to chase after. What are you just standing there for? Go, show me where the bomb is.
What? Are you telling me you don't know where it is? You have got to be kidding me.
How the hell would I know where the bomb is? Oh shit. You don't know? She bit her lip and nodded. Damn it. What the hell are we supposed to do now? We can't deactivate the bomb if we don't know where the damn thing is.
Calm down. Just calm down. You need to think, Sigma. There has to be a clue. Pretend you're Dio. You need to hide the bomb. Where would you hide something important?
Hide something important.
Right.
Hide. If I was Dio, where would I hide? Ah! Same place where he hid the knife. Hello, Luna Zending.
Sigma, wait! Where are you going?
Don't follow me. Go find the others.
Do you really think I'd do that?
I could hear her following me, but there was no time to argue. Instead, I focused on my goal. There was still time. At least I got rid of the elevator this time. There's the bomb.
Here?
Yeah, should be between these AV rooms. Good. I was right. How much time do we have left?
About a minute.
Shit.
Hurry!
I'm hurrying as fast as I can. The input device was plugged in. I was ready to go. I just had to enter the password. But what was the password? I couldn't shake the feeling I had already used up my third charm. Still, I had to try. Shook my head and concentrated. And hello to Dio's ending. Oh, how nice. Let me double check. Okay, that's why I screwed up.
Here? About a minute. Hurry!
So that C that I thought of was actually a G. There we go. It stopped.
Yeah.
So if we failed that, that's where Fi would have jumped over to Dio's ending. Fi and I crumpled to the ground. The adrenaline had sustained us suddenly gone.
How did you know it was here? Did you see it in another history?
It's hard to explain. The short version is that Dio hid something here in another timeline. I guess maybe he put the bomb here too.
Pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Well, so... thanks.
Oh, I don't need anything. It's just
Just what?
about the
What?
swimsuit, promise.
What on earth are you talking about?
Chromatic door 5 minutes.
This is bad. The white door's opened. We need to hurry. Everyone else is waiting for us in the...
What about the
What
swimsuit?
is going on? Just go!
Before I could protest, she turned around and ran towards the magenta door. I decided and headed off after her. Yeah, Sigma, we don't have time to be worrying about your damn swimsuit. I ran into the warehouse to find everyone else already there. They'd done as Fi asked and brought the 3 unconscious members of our party back to the doors. Fi and I shared a quick glance and then headed over towards them.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're safe.
So, did you just take the bombs?
Yeah. I could have done it in my sheep.
Don't you mean in your sleep? Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, good job, you guys.
No need to thank me. Although, I mean,
What? Huh? You're disgusting.
1 minute remains.
We need to hurry.
Everybody know who's in their group?
yeah,
Alright,
I'm set.
Let's move.
At Tenmyoji's command, we broke off into our teams. Cade carried Cork on his back and dragged Dio along the floor and through the white door on the left. So they're going to the security office. Clover and Luna carried Alice through the door on the right. That means they're going to the director's office. And Tenmyoji, Fi, and myself ran through the center door.
10 seconds remain until chromatic doors close. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
And off to our final escape room. Which is just this giant block. Q. Whoa! Just white. What the hell? There's nothing here.
Well, there are doors. The one we came in. And that one, which I'm assuming is the exit.
Yep, figures. Sorry, I'm just quickly removing these bomb notes because we don't need them anymore. Won't budge.
The plaque on the door just said Q.
Q. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Really? Someone's just being a smartass.
Huh?
Nothing. Maybe the Q is for question.
Well, I guess this is a very questionable
If there
room.
was a deck of cards here, maybe the Q would be for Queen.
That's a quality guess right there.
Right. Well, we need to get out of here.
Yep.
Let's find a way to get the door open.
We also need to find the star keys. I've got enough BP to open the door. You guys need to play the AB game some more.
Yeah.
We still need a few more points.
If we can get those star keys, we should be able to play the AB game as many times as we need to. So,
It's just a matter of time until we get the points we need.
right.
Pretty much. Well, let's get started then.
Okay.
Seek a way out. Welcome to the final room. Room Q. The theme that we'll be playing for our final room, 117. Appropriately named Q. And that's its name, Q. Welcome to the puzzle that is a culmination of everything. Just like the ninth room. Uma. In the first game. Oh yeah. Oh, there goes Q. So now we're supposed to... I know what I'm doing. Wrong way. Got it. I mean, I suppose it probably... There are winning and losing panels on the wall. The cube can help you find the winning panels. When the winning panels and only winning panels are highlighted inside an, the system will activate. Here's how you find the winning panel. When you click on a panel on the cube, it will display a number. Each surrounding panel will also be displayed with a number. This number indicates the number of winning panels that borders each panel. Including itself. Note number 1. The hint that appears on the cube is different for each side. Hypothetically, if a wall with an exit is the north wall, then the wall to the right of it would be the east wall, which would make the wall at the entrance the south wall and the wall to the west be west. That would mean that a hint that appears on the west wall would actually refer to the east wall. A hint that appears on the north wall would actually refer to the south wall. And a hint that appears on the east side would refer to the west. Note 2. Adjacent walls don't provide hints for one another. Each hint is specific to that wall. That means that even if there are winning panels on the border with the adjacent wall, these panels will not be reflected in the initial panel's numbers. There are a total of 8 puzzles hidden in the wall. Click on the floor to view this message one more time. After that, it will be gone forever. Whoa, what the hell? I did that wrong. Well, there's a problem, so it slides back in. Yeah, but... There you go. Ah, there we go. Yeah, this one has a lot. You have a 4-4. Oh god, I have to turn those all off. There's one thing. There's the accursed dice puzzle again. One, two, three. One. There we go. That should be all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 8 in total. Well, here's dice. And the E. You found a picture of a blue die, a picture of the green die, a picture of a red die. Welcome to what we will actually call hell. I'm not marking down what 1 and 5 look like, because if you, no matter how much you rotate a dice that way, where's my 600 dice? Right here. You can't rotate them 90 degrees and get something that looks different. And even if it does matter about something else, like the faces, there's not much we can do about it. I like how it's an A red die, despite the fact that it's not a red die. Three, 4, shoot. 5, 1, 2. There's a 2. There we go. There's that. And now we have the 5 and the 1. That didn't help. Oh, oh, right. It's gonna be a bit of a pain. There's one thing. I need to move these over all one. Oh, that threw the 3, 6, and 2 off. That done. Now I just have to get the 4 over. That needs to be a 2. There's an AB card. Oh, that puzzle's done. All systems are now activated. Good. Let's quickly get this conversation out of the way. There's an AB card as well as a folder or binder. Change the colors to the correct ones by clicking the hexagons and triangles. Remember that you You have in the security room. Nope. There we go. That puzzle took me a while. Well, we're done with that, so let's quickly grab the binder. Cube Chamber Special AB game. Interesting. Let's take that, because we're going to need that. AB Game Q Edition. Hints for AB Game Q Edition. 3 people will definitely choose Ally. 3 people will definitely choose Betray. 1 is a mysterious mirror man. He will always do whatever his opponent does. First answer. Strive for 9 with 6 cooperators. Second answer. We must be the ones to surpass 9. There's your 2 hints. The first answer is your green password. Your second hint is your blue password. I believe what we have left is here. Green memory card, but we can't do anything, so we have to do the dart game first. That's true. You get a score of 100 points with 3 red dots. First arrow must land in green, second blue, third red. Now we don't need to worry about the order of the scores, at least in numerical value. Oh shoot, I got a perfect score. Bing, 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 100. I'm a fair man. My high school voted me most likely to be a judge, you know. Let's take the memory chip. Now let's move on to the final puzzle. We need to put the memory cards in. Us, A, and B are all pairs consisting of 2 people, while C, D, and E are all solos consisting of a single person. First, move the pairs A and B to the blank areas on the left under pair. Next, move solos C, D, and E to the blank areas on the left over solo. You can move them by sliding the letter icons. A pair and a solo align vertically with verses between them face off against one another in the AB game. You can still move icons even after you place them. Once an opponent has been selected, the game will begin. Choose the vote for us pair, either ally or betray. The result of your match will be displayed along with the results of the other teams. If the correct number of people reach the target BP after playing 3 rounds, the game will be completed. Mix them up. Unfortunately, that did not work because I accidentally mixed up A and B. Honestly, this is the easiest way. Figure out which 2 just constantly betrays, and then just throw them together. And voila! The green password has been achieved. But, we're not done yet. Oh no, we're not done yet. But we still have the blue one to get. So, would this be... would, could, should. It ain't. Is. But we're not done yet. Oh, no. Now, there's one person who will vote like the last person. Well, those 2 pairs are dead. Fortunately, I didn't do a good job keeping E down. So C asks how the opponent's going to react. I have killed D again. And there you go. And there's our blue password. Now I need to go to the archives for this. So we have a sun, moon, star. And there's our gold file. Achievement unlocked. Redacted. Now to read the last set. The Minkowski space. There's a way of describing reality that adds a fourth dimension of time to three dimensions of space. It's described by German mathematician Hermann Minkowski, and therefore bears his name. It is also the name of a ski resort for miniature cows. Oh, Minikowski. Anyway. The scientific name for the order of which rabbits belong, and Zero the Third's actual name, which is Logomorph. Tenmyoji and Alice. When they split up at the red, blue, and green chromatic doors, Tenmyoji told Alice that there was something he had to tell her. That something was, of course, his identity, and that he had already known about Alice and Ice 9, and not because he heard it from Clover. After the second round of the AB games, after going through the purple and green doors, Clover, as a solo, was heard saying the following to Tenmyoji, her opponent. What the heck do you mean with all that? It's not fair. If you're telling the truth, then So what had Tenmyoji said to her? The same thing he meant to say to Alice, of course. He told her who he was. That simple fact shook Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. It probably hadn't been his original intention to betray her, but after thinking about Quark's safety, he probably felt he had no choice but to pick betray. So who is this Tenmyoji? The AB project. A can stand for after and B for before, but they can also stand for anima and body. Everything happened in the facility was part of the AB project. So who is Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site. Here's a little something about the bomb deactivation passwords. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. I can give you one hint, +1. So, good luck. There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoyed the game. And with that, we have gotten the last secret file. Well, looks like we'll have to play this game some more to figure out what that is. No, I'm just kidding. Dang it. We're gonna find out what that is in just a moment. Right, I need to put the actual password in first. Turns out I can't open the door if I don't have the key. And there's our final password. Yes, it opened. 2 key cards, 2 vials of Excelavir, and a key. Okay then, let's see what's in here. First off, 2 star key cards. We can use these to play the AB games as many times as we want. Excelavir. Alright, let's get out of here. We need to get this stuff to Cork and Alice. This should do the trick. Let's get moving. The door lock. It says lock. You guys ready? All set here. Go for it. Alright. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop that! Jeez. One more time. 3, 2, 1. You found it. Escapist. What's that achievement? Escape everything on hard difficulty in VLR. Oh yeah. Yeah, because it turns out I had to, in the pressure exchange chamber, I lowered the difficulty. Because for some reason, I was having a hard time with that one. But now, I did it.
It opened.
We should get back to the 4A warehouse then.
Hey, wait. Did you guys hear something?
What?
You didn't hear it? It's coming from over here. It sounds like something's turning on. See, I told you. The screen wasn't on before.
Right. Guess it was set to turn on when we opened.
It looks like an authentication screen. I think we need to put in an ID and a password.
Yeah, but what?
That's when I noticed the illustration. The lion is eating the sun. The lion is eating the sun. The lion is eating the Memento Mori. Remember death. If the 9th lion ate the sun. I believe that is, in fact, the 9th one. Oh, of course. This was the real 9th lion. But if that was the case, Memento Mori. Remember death. Memento Mori. Remember death. Memento Mori. Remember. There's Quark sending. Now, when I first tried to put the name in, I screwed it up and I put K-U-R-I Shiki. Kirishiki, not Kirashiki. But that's where it goes. Kirashiki. And the password is Junpei doll. Accepted.
Sigma! Look!
Oh, hello there. You're...
Akane. Name's Akane Gorshi. I've been looking for her for a very long time.
He walked towards her, Slowly, carefully, almost as if he was afraid of scaring her away, he reached out.
She's a hologram.
Timioji squeezed his eyes shut.
Akane.
He closed his hands around empty air and let it fall to his side. There was a moment of sad silence, and then she began to speak.
I see you finally arrived. I've been waiting for you. Well, I suppose that's slightly inaccurate. What you see now is a holographic message I recorded before you came here. Unfortunately, this means I will not be able to answer your questions, at least not directly.
Similar to the Zero Senior hologram.
You'll understand. Now, where to begin? You probably have a great many questions. What day is it? Where are we? Who is Zero? And what does he have to do with Akane Kurashiki? But I imagine there is one question that rises above all the others. Why were we brought here?
Yep.
The answer to that is simple. Everything that has happened here is part of our plan. All of this was required for the success of the AP project. I assume you heard the name by now, at least.
Yes, this damnable project that needs to stop.
In any event, you were all needed in order to execute our plan. The Nonary game was necessary for the same reason. Your question now, I imagine, is just what is this AV project?
Yep. We tried to ask Luna for it and we didn't get the answer.
The answer to that is also simple. Allow me to explain. We created the AV project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
What do you mean, the past? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized no one could answer the question. Not Phi, not Tenmyoji, and not a pre-recorded hologram.
Have you figured out what this room is?
It is Q.
I assume you saw the Q on the door. It stands for quantum.
The room quantum.
That makes this the quantum.
It took me a moment to realize she changed subjects without even pausing. There was nothing we could do, of course, but still, I felt a twinge of frustration.
Do you see that large enclosure? That houses our quantum computer. The systems that control this entire facility run on that machine. That includes the construct we refer to as Zero Junior, as well as the golems. All of them do their thinking in that box.
Huh.
Isn't that strange, though? It seems contrary to how we perceive the world, the body. The thing that you see and interact with is somewhere else, but the mind and all its thoughts are in this box. Perhaps it isn't so strange, though. Perhaps humans are the same, with our minds and thoughts existing separate from our bodies. Our core is in our head, of course. We all have individual brains, think individual thoughts, and act according to individual details. That makes communication difficult. So, we're forced to rely on inefficient mediums, like language, photographs, non-verbal cues, etc., to transmit information.
That's true.
Each one of us is an individual, and we have no direct connection to anyone else. But is that really true? In the dimensions we are most familiar with, yes, it is. If we look at things from another higher dimension, however, we may all be connected after all, like the branches of a tree or a rhizome.
Rhizome. Yep.
This isn't the case. If you expand your view and look at the root system in 3 dimensions instead of only 2, you see the truth. All the roots join together at the trunk. In 2 dimensions, they appear to be separate. But if you look at the roots from a 3rd higher dimension, you see things that might appear to be separate from one another in 3 dimensions could be connected to one another if you look at them in 4 dimensions. Doesn't that at least seem like it could be a possibility?
It could.
I believe that is how human consciousness actually works. Well, I'm not the only one, I suppose. Zero and I share that belief.
Morphogenetic field theory.
Tenmyoji mumbled something that sounded like nonsense. I opened my mouth to ask what it meant, but I kind of was already talking again.
Now, when I talk about a 4th dimension,
Morphogenetic field theory. Something that came out of the first game. And quite rightly, too. Oh, there's something else I want to check. Okay.
I'm referring to the 4th dimension used in Minkowski's space-time.
Ah,
Let's start with the single dimension, where all that exists is a point. Connect points to one another, and you have a line. In 1 dimension, the only surface you can create is that, a line.
true.
But move to 2 dimensions, and create more lines, and you can create shapes. These are 2-dimensional surfaces.
Yep.
Move up to 3 dimensions, and you can connect these shapes to one another and form 3-dimensional objects.
Makes sense.
Now you have a 3-dimensional surface, which encompasses the volume of space.
Which is what most of us understand. We can understand 3D objects. It's because we live in a 3-dimensional world. The 4th dimension just seems just insane to the average person.
Connect 3-dimensional objects to one another, and you form a 4-dimensional object, which encompasses a volume of both space and time. It is on that 4th dimensional axis that our minds are connected. If that was true, then what would prevent anyone from sending their consciousness backward or forward in time?
What if our consciousness is in a 5th dimension and there's something else in the 4th dimension? That's making us think it's in the 4th dimension, but it's in a higher dimension.
That theory is the foundation of the AB project. The A represents after,
And the
the
B for
represents before. It probably sounds silly to you. A ridiculous story made up by a bad old woman.
It does. It really does. But both Sigma and Phi have just lived through warping, and Tenmyoji has experienced it before, based on his comment of morphogenetic field theory. And as for anyone who's played the first game, we all know.
But look at what's happened to you. You've seen many different worlds and timelines, haven't you, Sigma? And what about you, Phi? I know you have too.
nearly half a century ago? That's nearly 50 years. I guess we should also bring up the elephant in the room. This is Akane Kirishiki from the first game. Why is she so damn old? That means that it's not... that it's nowhere near 2028. It's nearly 2078. Because if she's because she has to be talking about the first Nonary game, or at least technically the second one, the one that was run by June and Santa, and then Nevada Desert.
Yeah, of course I do. How could I forget? That little girl was you, Akane.
Suddenly, it felt like Fi and I were outsiders, trespassing on something we had no right to see. Tenmyoji's face was taut with emotion as he looked into Akane's eyes. So Tenmyoji is Junpei? Junpei, oh boy. It seemed almost like he was looking back at him, or she was looking back at him.
Now, unfortunately, my time is up. The final stage of the project will begin very soon. I need to go prepare. The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
1 second, I need to quickly jump off and go just... Alrighty, sorry about that. There was a message I needed to get sent.
One last thing. The cat in the box. Is it alive or is it dead? Sigma. Fine. You will decide its fate.
Aha! And I know what that line's referring to. Because there's a very particular thing that a very particular thing that seemed to have not happened in this timeline.
Goodbye.
Wait! Akane, wait!
Oh, Tenryuji. I can almost... You don't need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. I will see you again one day. I promise. But I'm going to have to ask you to wait just a little longer.
Wait! Akane!
And she was gone. Tenryoji collapsed to his knees, his back hunched and shaking. I saw tears landing on the white-knuckled fist he pressed against his thighs. I kept quiet. What was there to say? Fi and I looked at another and nodded silently. With shaking hands, Tenryoji pulled a photograph out of his pocket. It was a picture of a girl. After all that we'd been through, her smile was enough to break your heart. We made our way to the warehouse in Florey and met up with the others. It only took a few minutes to decide to head to the infirmary. As soon as we arrived, we began to treat Alice and Quark for radical sex. I gave Luna the Excalibur I found in the Q room. She quickly prepared it and injected Alice and Quark.
Thank goodness. It will take some time for them to recover completely, but they should be fine. Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
Don't sweat it.
No need to thank us.
Tenryoji said nothing and just walked over to Quark's unconscious body. He took the small boy in his hands and held tight. I could see tears in the corner of his eyes as he turned away from us. Suddenly I remembered Dio. Where had he gone? It didn't take me long to find him. He was sprawled unconscious on the floor beneath the sink. Handcuffs?
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters. Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there. Of course, the bomb was indeed turned off. Thank you again for dealing with it. You are, quite literally, lifesavers. You have my eternal gratitude.
I coughed awkwardly and looked pointed around the room. I glanced over to Fi to see she was doing the same thing. After that, we headed back to the Florey warehouse to play the AB game. Specifically, me, Fi, Kay, and Luna. Clover and Tenryo decided to remain in the infirmary just in case something happened to Alice, Quark, or Dio. Luna would represent Clover's team, with Quark and Dio sleeping. Kay would represent their team by default, which left me, Fi, and Tenryoji. You should
Sure, I'll
vote.
let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
What? That doesn't matter now.
Excuse me. I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to vote the next round, Fire.
Why?
You already have 9 BP. There's no reason for you to choose betray now. You see?
Hey, you're acting like I might actually try and betray
Not
her.
necessarily.
What does it matter what he's suggesting? We're almost there. We just have to play the AB game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Yep. Because we have to think about Tenmi, OG, Alice, and Luna, since they're at 3 points each. Of course, Fi is gonna fly off the charts with a 15. We're gonna end at 10.
Okay. I'll vote. You sure you're alright with this, Sigma?
Yeah, I trust you. I handed her the star key.
Shall we open the door?
And Ambidex gate has been opened.
45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Oh, right. We have to wait for the deadline.
Oh, well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AV room for 45 minutes.
Okay. Let's go back to the infirmary then.
I agree. Please, lead the way.
Luda and Kay set off towards the yellow door. I was about to follow when...
Hold on. I just remembered something.
What?
The AB room on the left, in one of the other histories, she...
That's the old woman who's normally dead. But she's not. Where is she? She's the cat in the box. Oh, yeah, you're right. Akane's body was there. Was in there. What does this mean? Why didn't we find her body this time?
Maybe because she wasn't murdered.
But how? When did history change? Right about now.
Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat in the box. Is it alive? Or is it dead, Sigma? Fine. You will decide its fate.
Well... The Schrodinger's cat thing. I wonder what she meant about us deciding its fate.
Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet. The
Huh?
history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now.
What? No, that's impossible. We've already opened the box. We opened the door to this AB room. There was
No,
nobody.
we haven't opened the box. We haven't found her body. But we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her. The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
True.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
Where was Akane now? Where was she waiting for us? Or what if she wasn't anywhere now? What if she was waiting for us in another timeline? Or what if she was waiting for us in the past? Is that even possible? If she was, what would that mean? To be continued. New destination has been added to the flowchart. Just look at that, and the story that's just marching off the screen. But anyway, up here we go. AB room passed. Ugh. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it. Feels like my head head's gonna explode. Wait. Where the hell am I? Looks like an elevator, but...
No, this is one of the AB rooms.
Yeah. Who the hell are you? What the hell is an... What the hell's an AB room?
Damn. I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Memory? Memory. And there's all the endings. So you cannot go here until you have all the endings unlocked. I remember! You're Phi! She grinned. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red pair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does that mean this is at the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AB room?
No, not quite. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
How'd you
Push the
know?
buttons on the side of your bracelet.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time.
Nope.
I think we're about an hour early.
Wait a minute. If you're right.
Connie might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her, I think.
That's the cat in the box. So we're gonna stop Dio from killing her, and therefore she's gonna still be alive. The question is where is she then? Then
We're here for one reason.
to stop her from getting killed.
Exactly.
Let's move. We need to get out of here
Don't
fast.
need to tell me twice. Let's go.
I don't believe I need to do everything. Once the password has been found, it will never change. Going back to the past or changing alternate timelines won't do anything. There's no reason. In fact, Phi actually just starts getting pissy at you for trying to solve the things. I wonder, does this one work? I don't think it does much of anything. No, let's get the actual one we want, which is Sun, Star, Star. There, it's open. Up and grab the cracker. Interesting. I believe the key goes... Where is the... Oh, right there. Press the giant red button. One done. Hey, you pushed the button. Bite me. You were taking too long. When Phi and I climbed through the hatch and out into onto the top of the AB room. It took us only a moment to spot them. Akane! Behind her was Dio. He was moving quickly and quietly. A knife glinted in his right hand. Shit. There was no time to yell at her. I scrambled down from the top of the AB room. Fi wasn't following me. When I looked, she was still standing on the roof. Fi, what the hell are you doing? Get down here, and... Before I could finish, she moved. She ran across the roof, launched herself into the air, and clobbered him hard. What the?
He's fine. Just unconscious.
I bent down and held my finger to the finger in front of his mouth. He was still
I don't think
breathing.
he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him.
Guy went down like a sack of potatoes.
He had it coming.
I heard footsteps come to a stop right in front of us. I looked up.
So you came. I've been waiting for you. You're here to hear the rest, right?
Just wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If we hadn't shown up just now, you'd...
Have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
What?
Hold on. How do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Yes, indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was going to stab you, why were you going to let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered.
If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would be murdered.
Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested.
Luna's ending.
I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least.
Like now?
In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity. Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, we need to slow down the brain before the increase happens. It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one.
Okay.
From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like. Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cave. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
Whoa, what?
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yep.
Yes. Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you sure? Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected. Well, apart from Luna, of course.
You just manually programmed her to process it to go more slowly?
Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed.
Yes, and then everyone killed themselves. A la per Clover's ending.
The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies 4-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If
Okay.
the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times. With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually, you would be able to retain everything. That is why we made you play the A-B game. That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
Yep. I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there's a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you've just told me makes sense. You did all of this so Fi and I could jump through 4-dimensional space with our memories intact, right?
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died. Murder, antimatter explosions, suicide. I've died, so has Fi, so have you. Luna's ending, Clover's, and then the General. So why would you do all this? What does it matter that Fi and I jump through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You were all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all of that. What I'm asking you is why. What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit. That's not good enough. Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Connie knelt down next to Dio and picked up his knife off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Don't change the subject.
It's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No, in a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline.
What?
This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Lagomorph.
Yes. Lagomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Lagomorph. Lagomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
And then she puts it on Dio's.
Now, everything is in place. I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Why do you need to do all
To
that?
recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the third AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our second or third time.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. A key. A small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose.
What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
Tu fui ego eris.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do
It
with
will
it?
help you meet someone who's very important.
Oh, I wonder who. What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Wait. I still... Ugh. To be continued. Again. A new destination has been added to the flow map. Don't worry, guys. We're slowly getting there. AB game, round 3, ally. That's... The Q room is the only room you don't get to ally or betray.
Looks like you're awake.
Is this the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but
We waited, and the two of you never returned.
so we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
I looked at Vi and met her eyes. Do you remember what happened just
You
now?
mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah. You got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, Quark.
What
Quark.
am I? Top liver?
Yes. Alice.
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh? Yeah, thanks.
Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. All in a day's work. Although,
Really grabbing at straws here.
hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. It was an offer for
Not really
Alice.
my point.
Whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
It says 10. It's very convenient that Sigma, Phi, and Dio never got paired up. Because, whoo boy, that would ruin everything. It says 10. I have 10 BP.
I've got 15 BP. That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours. We've played the AB game 3 times.
3 times?
Yes, of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
have enough to leave.
9, 9, 14, 13, 13, 9, 14. I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all our BP past 9? Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Without a death to start things off, maybe we were less suspicious of one another. Or could the bombs have something to do with it? We had all joined forces against Dio. Fi and I had been able to disarm them all of them. All of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond, which I had to admit was somewhat ironic. After all, Dio had planted the bombs to force us to all work together against him. That must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you death was unavoidable? Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Wait. What about him? What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Alice was the only holdout. She complained about wanting to take him back to her supervisors, but after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escape and deal with Dio, then she reluctantly complied. Oh, they'll be doing no such thing.
Alright, let's get going.
Warehouse A. Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes,
Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down.
The number 9 door will remain open.
Alright, everybody, let's move. I didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. It looked like some sort of large plate on top of a huge pedestal. Alright, guys, I'm gonna step away and quickly grab something. So don't mind me. Please don't. Alrighty. We got into the center of the plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
The number 9 door is closing.
Also, the announcer's voice is Akane.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nunnery game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over,
Hot.
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
Beyond the door was a wide hallway. At the end, that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very similar looking door. We pushed open and went in. Here's the pressure exchange chamber. The pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air's pressure. Outside air pressure. This room here is actually where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. See all the suits along the wall? I figured we need those. We need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute. You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside.
True.
There's no way to know what's really going on until we...
Until we do, yep.
All right.
No one else objected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. As soon as we were inside, the process began. Through my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes waiting for the process to finish. At last it did, and we heard the door begin to open. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors on their helmet, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we? Desert, I guess? I figured that out. I mean, which one? I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
You don't.
Look at the moon. It's red, right?
That ain't the moon.
That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
The moon is way too big.
So? Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was going to be on December 31st, 2028. So? Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
No. You were sleeping for over about 50 years.
I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was cleaner than I'd ever seen it. And the stars. The sky was full of them, more stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could spot that. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive, much bigger in fact than I remember it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It's hard to see the details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge. What's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot. And brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse.
Yep, solar eclipse. Remember, solar eclipse has a sun here, the moon here, and the Earth is over here.
Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon and covering the sun.
What? No way. If that's Earth, then where the hell are we? I mean, it makes sense. After all, remember Phi jumping incredible feats? It makes sense if we're on the moon.
How do you expect us to believe that?
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, it's just, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See, that moved perfectly.
Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
Excuse me?
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6, and we gave you the Excelavir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6.
Which is why it's called the Radical 6.
It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases.
Oh, fun.
It's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters. It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground. On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything.
Yep.
The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us.
Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the gravity?
You sure didn't notice anything? Think back.
We did.
Even Simon and I said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird. It's kind of like my body is sort of.
It seems insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, the explanation Phi, in fact, it explains Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well. Yep.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This is New Year's Eve in 2028.
It's not.
Today is January 27th.
Of 2078 and 29.
Now,
Don't tell me. 30?
still no.
Just what year is this?
It's 74. 2000.
No, that's insane. That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. The work I left on Earth was January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. It's just science.
Yep.
Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time. The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
Jeez. What? Why?
Explosion started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radix 6 claimed its first victims there and escaped. It didn't take off to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, classics. For some, it was poison, fire, asphyxiation, noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot of a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground just for transportation around to halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another.
Oh, sorry. Where is my... There it is.
We got all those radios and organized to cover only one thing to discuss, of course.
I organized a couple of meetings. Almost at the 40-hour mark.
How could they get rid of Radix 6? The answer they cited was verification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and then kill the virus off for good. On April 13th, of 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
That sounds horrid.
The truth is, it's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened. I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected. And when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate divide now you're coming with me gesture.
Makes sense.
They missed your money, they all lost it all before they got to the reactors, killing most of the world. No matter how many things they got, it's not a sane plan. Even if it wasn't directly responsible, Radix 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. When it is, it happened.
Yeah, it's where dust and ash get thrown up into the air.
The explosion threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, which joined in smoke and ash from all fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. A few humans who were left banded together to survive. There were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared as the sun came back. Plants started blooming again. The animals that had died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now. But there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. It's what you're seeing. You know why sunsets red? No. This is the same thing. Green light has short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air.
Yep.
Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
I can make it through that dirty mess. I was speechless. What could I possibly say? Was there no reason for Tenmyoji? There was no reason for Tenmyoji to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? I was so lost in thought, I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
A window popped up on the inside of the helmet with Whisper in the corner. He seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is
I
that?
figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? Oh, you mean the graffiti.
Yeah. The one on floor B. I think it's an anagram. Just like on floor A.
Naturally. What's Annie say this time?
God damn it, Sigma. Knock it off.
Memento mori, if the ninth Blyad ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get the man on the moon rules the infinite time.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See? You need 6 E's to get that. So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AE project for one purpose: to transform the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Vaughn.
So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow. You don't get it? You're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. And we're just talking about having to jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Back to before all the explosions, before all this Radical 6 broke out? Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
Yeah. I bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AV project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking about.
I think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came here from the same time period before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea.
As do I.
Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
To free ego eris.
The grave. One last piece. The grave inside the garden. Finally. The one in the garden.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber. The others followed close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're going to have a talk with somebody. You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this. What?
That is a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
Arg, just shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. How are we getting back in? Are we going through the 4B warehouse door?
Oh, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. With the door on floor B.
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah, the grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's still alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move to the garden. The garden.
Is Akane really under here?
To fui ego eres. I think so.
What do we do? Are we gonna take her out?
No. I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave. If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Treatment pod 0.
What is this? It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah. It's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover was frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in
Let's
it.
see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the
No
pod.
good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1, defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Shoot.
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells. Cells alive system.
So, Miss Akane's like an ice cube?
I think
And
so.
we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered
What do you remember?
everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
Rhizome 9. Rhizome 9. Oh boy. Well, there's your ambiguous 9 or Q.
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and your ambiguous Q door for the room Q for quantum.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like Rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Convenient.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any
Nope.
event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AV project.
The AV project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much by now. It's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Okay.
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Okay.
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand.
Okay.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028.
Okay.
The location is Earth, of course, more specifically, Los Angeles, California, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029.
Was that the day after all those reactors went off? Because was it the 13th or the
Your
18th?
trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, and in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an expert, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past.
More espers, more power. That's how we got both Clover and Tenmyoji.
Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power.
She did mention that she was an esper, but for some reason her powers were suddenly gone back at the beginning of the game. And that's why, because Sigma and Phi have been eating up the esper bandwidth.
You understand? This is why we brought you here, Chloe.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform prime decomposition of the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do this work. Because of your feat in mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs.
We were about or able. So I'm pretty sure I just heard Kay say about.
Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark.
Well, let's not explain why we needed Quark, because we don't know.
Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone. He kept saying you couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I had been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. You ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger on the ship.
Of course, here's one interesting implication. If we go back in time, Quark is probably the one that's going to stop existing.
It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, I headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out.
So why was Quark here? I mean, he agreed, but was there a reason why we needed Quark?
And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio, his real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
As we know already.
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given two tasks. First was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project.
And he did in the other timelines. That's why he tried to go for the win in those. And because he failed to kill Akane, he wanted to blow the entire place sky high. Which is one of the reasons why he started just allying with Luna. So that way he looked less suspicious.
The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Horizon 9. Hence, the bombs.
Yep.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper. We can set Brother aside for now, then. May I proceed?
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two, Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me somewhat close to Zero Senior.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. All of us gather around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
I laid her hands on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Sigma? What? Oh, right. So that's the person who was put in the armor. But wait, if he's in the treatment pod, then who's in the armor? Oh, interesting. Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B, in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? That didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubocurine, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Hello, Akane.
Akane Kurashiki.
It's you, June. I mean, Akane from, like, you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Junpei. Tenmyoji.
Kane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me. And it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me and went back to your future, well, Your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room, and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you, and then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
It was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's. Aha. Not Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's.
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
What? No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved? What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Socorel can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
Where is it? Come here, you. Token, please.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either.
This is when you start cluing in that apparently Sigma does not look the same.
Total stranger.
Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here, same face.
Are you right, Mr. Sigma? Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
Huh? I looked around frantically. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. Hello, Zero Senior. Yeah, you get mentions of him being old and whatnot a lot throughout the game. In the whole how Fi shouldn't be as young as she is, when Dio is struggling to get out of your grasp. There's a few other instances. The biggest problem with this is the fact that, well, first of all, wouldn't he feel different with that? There are a few problems with this kind of hidden secret, but it's passable. What? No, this can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb.
I love climb. There you go. Right there.
Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now.
Also, yeah, Luna did mention that he was a doctor, but his 22-year-old self, that doesn't make much sense.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a
You
doctor.
will be a pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him. His
Create.
name is Kyle Klein. Your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future.
It would probably make sense, since that's one difference, and these are equal, then these would have to be one difference.
When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 if nothing was done. The reduced gravity, you prepared for that. You gave him that armor ever since he was born. He's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body.
Mind and body.
Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
Yes.
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yep, and this is exactly what it is. That's when we first got. That's when Sigma got hit with the gas originally. Here is the start of the game. Here's the end of the game. This is where we'll be seeing the end of the game right here. Of course, this is where he's building the AB game. This is where the AB game is being built. Then once he's done, he goes back to take control to lead up to being able to build the AB game. Unless, of course, they are able to stop it. And of course, as soon as whatever happens here happens, the older Sigma is going to be back in the body.
Yeah, Sigma. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making. A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled in one of the AB rooms, and you are in your own body.
Wait,
It is 67 years old.
hold on. Did you just say January 25th? Because we were just, oh right, slower mental processes.
Your
Okay.
consciousness has jumped 45. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected. The virus slowed your brain, so yes. 36 hours, but to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your it will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
That's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes.
Huh.
That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Yep, April 13th, so April 14th was after.
The story does not end there, however. The line continues.
Yep.
After reaching point D, but this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B. Do you remember when?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped in. So where did the older version of you?
Point A, December 25th, 2028. The day all this started.
Yes, his consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old body conscious will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
Which is what we're about to run into. So it's rotating?
Rotate. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line.
With one diverting
It
path.
may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path. With one exception.
The line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes, by now you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
So this entire game was all about just beating up Radical 6. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
You need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that, thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
And who's going to be put in this position?
That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
Well, I guess you could use the knife that you had.
I mean this.
Dio's knife. No sooner were those words out of my mouth. Fi! I screamed and leapt towards them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving towards Fi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was only a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut. Something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. It was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eres. On it. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. With that, guys, here's our credits. But we're not done yet. There's one last scene. As you probably just saw, it said Akane Kurashiki, 22 years old. There's one last scene, and then we'll be done. Done with this game. Finally, after 41 hours, we'll finally be done. it was a wild and crazy ride. There are parts I like about this game, but it definitely does drag on too long. There were things they probably should have definitely cut down on, and I think they probably are going to have... That's probably going to be fixed in the third game, Zero Time Dilemma. Now, I went through these first two games in a methodical way, but the third game will be blind. So, expect mistakes, expect it to be long. Maybe not as long as this game, but expect it to take some time. But man, just going back through this game, I was having a lot of fun. Especially, I guess I also have a nice soft spot because this and its first game has been one of the few times I was actually able to push myself to make such long streams. And who knows if that will be gone when Zero Time Dilemma is done. But we'll talk about Zero Time Dilemma when we start it. Anyway, Phi End. A new destination has been added to the flowchart. Headquarters, April 13th, 2029. I see a treatment pod.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So, excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague.
Yep.
Goodbye.
For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of static seemed to fill the entire room, until with a click, it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. You. Akane.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the f- You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still!
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Treatment pods 1, 2, and 3.
Now,
those same pods get put into the treatment center, and when we talked about people being released, it was talking about Alice, Clover, and Phi.
you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be
Excuse
leaving
me.
tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D.
In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
Then that means after you froze her, the Point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The Point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years. Sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to Point B, her consciousness will jump to Point A, right?
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why didn't you just stick me in one of
We
those
can't
pods?
do that.
Why
You
not?
haven't figured it out?
Yes, Sigma, you have to create everything.
You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from Point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
Then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jumped to Point A, what were we going to do
You won't
then?
enter the Mars mission test site.
After that?
I don't know.
What? Just like last time, it seems like I showed up at the tail end of the stream again.
I really don't know anything about what happens in there.
Well, hello there, bitch. Like I said, the bee. Yep, we're nearing the end. Which I am grateful.
We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Aw, crap. Then we're
That's
screwed.
why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult. And I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I
The
say?
test facility is full of traps. There was one point. A woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake. And lost your arms and your right eye.
Ah. My arms and my right eye. What the hell? Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Have a look.
The 16 annihilation reactors. Or 18. I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly towards the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the dark skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. End or beginning? And with that, we have beaten the game. Oh boy. What? Infirmary? Another time? What? We're not done just yet, guys.
I see you finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle.
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
Yep. This is a secret you can get if you get all the golden files. And I mean all the golden files. You can't get a single silver file. You gotta get the gold files. I have, in fact, demonstrated all 16 gold files. At least I don't have to voice much. I lurched upright and jumped off the bed and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror in the sink was covered with film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve. The reflection stared back at me. Have you read the file that explained the cat puns? I have read every single file. It's not this one. It's not that one either. Oh, that one has to be here. Right here. Sigma's cat problems, 1 and 2. There was no mistake. Reflection belonged to...
Clem. So, I'm Dr. Clem? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question. One I didn't know the answer to myself. I knew Kyle Klim was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. Yep, his name is Kyle, and he was called K. Very, very clever, hiding in originality. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in a lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. And rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him, but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Klim? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb. In his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio, still handcuffed. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
So, where's everyone else?
Today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything regarding. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for the Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Friday, right?
Yes,
Why am I here?
the doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the Doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes, I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
Oh, jeez.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right. Mr. Klein.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You pledged to return them. To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, he's still Sigma. It's just, yeah, he's not the same Sigma, but he's still Sigma.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You're gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way.
You can't wait for something that has already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way.
Hell, nature doesn't work that way.
That statement I'm more fine with.
We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not going to change. In fact, it's because of what he did, or didn't do in the past, that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast.
Okay.
So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. Let's go northwest, he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers.
Oof.
90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after.
Yes, but this timeline's already having its workings going. So the Tenmyoji here doesn't really care what happens in the past.
That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
Wow. Okay, Tenmyoji.
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. What would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss, and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything's happy?
I mean, no, not completely.
Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots?
No.
Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can...
Wow.
I'm just not going to accept that, alright?
Okay, Tenryoji.
Get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality.
This is your reality, dear.
Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
Oh, then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, and there are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
No point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Kane was in the armor in this timeline after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr.
Of course. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
But does that mean you really shouldn't say anything? Because while that conscious Sigma might be the older one, how much different does that make him? Just metaphysically speaking, because he is a different person. But how much does he feel like a different person? Should you really not say goodbye just because he suddenly changed?
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
That is a fair point.
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kuroshiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
Oh boy.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we were completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand, but...
Kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Pi have it easy.
That is true, because they actually are doing something.
They get to go back to December 25th of 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenryoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection.
Oh jeez, this motorcycle analogy is gonna get hilarious.
Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
it's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Yep. Seems like Tenryoji used it more than once.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
You know what? For the two of you, I think this is a fitting end.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
Other than actual time travel.
It's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's
Cat.
What?
Oh, hey, Kyle.
What? Just Schrodinger's cat and then off we go. By the way, this is completely blind, in case you're wondering. I've never seen this scene before. Oh my god.
Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway.
See, that gives 1, 2, 3. So you have Luna, Dio, Quark, Tenryoji, Alice, Clover, Phi, Sigma. Okay, oh, yeah. This is the last person we need to talk to.
He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind. I'd love to answer all your questions. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Wow, okay. That's just mean.
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
Not Superman, that's for sure.
And I'm not Batman, or I'm not a Brahmin, or Common, or Robin.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep, you wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2000, even though you didn't wake up, still unconscious, you were carried. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028, and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility.
Oh, was Phi Phi was the girl that was, in danger. But then... Because it makes sense why Sigma tried to rescue her.
Fortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places, and you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics.
Okay.
Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared.
Yep.
That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1.
How large is V1 and V2? Because C squared is a giant number. And if you divide by larger and larger numbers, you tend to get smaller and smaller numbers.
Since that would be dividing by 1, it's usually okay just to skip that step and use v1 plus v2.
God.
You see what I'm saying? In most situations it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
Pretty much.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So is that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. You understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not.
Are we Sigma again? Are we a different Sigma?
Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle, or could you be someone else entirely?
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028.
We did jump to that point, so it wasn't that much.
His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Klein's spare. But that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus.
Which, as far as I'm understanding, never happened.
For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created it?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to prevent.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas of 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Can we just switch places?
I suppose you could...
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
Well, then I suddenly catch on fire and die.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too.
Okay, this isn't canon at all. Pretty much.
You are about to go into the past, Phi and Sigma. Even with all of his future knowledge, will need. Only you can write, only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between?
Well, yes, I do.
I do, yes.
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
I would make a statement on something else, but that would spoil something for you. So I'm not going to say anything. But this gives me odd vibes of a different game. Oh my.
Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
Sounds like some next level BS. Alternative end. 2 achievements. A certain point of view and you found it. Is that everything? Please tell me that's everything. That's everything. with that, we are done with Virtue's Last Reward. Took me 41 and a half hours. It took me longer than my other save. Wow. My God, that was... Why did it take me nearly 4.5 more hours when I just had that one chunk? And, by the way, because this was blind, let me just show you... I'm just going to quickly show my flowchart here. So, first off, I don't have that extra ending because I didn't get all the files. Secondly, I got this game over because I wanted to see what happened. I got that game over because I wanted to see what happened. I got that game over because I wanted to see what happened. I got that game over because I was naive. I got that game over because I think I wanted to see what happened. And this game over for being naive. Oh, and the one down here with Tenmyoji, I wanted to see. But how do I have... So anyway, that's it for... I've gotten all the game overs because why not? There are a few game overs I cannot get myself to do. Like the... which one is it? Betraying, it's for Clover's ending. Clover's bad ending. Can't do it. But that was Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. About 42 hours have been put into this game. It's been crazy. It's been wild. It's been insane. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. It's been a long one. I don't know how I was able to get through it, especially with that long break in between with work getting in the way. We finally got it done. So next time, we'll be starting Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye!